Okay, we are going to start a couple Punnett squares for practice. I'm going to set these first ones up for you, and then you can do some independent practice, okay? So I'm going to use a highlighter as we go through, and I'm going to highlight the important parts. In other words, the parents' gametes. So we're dealing with pea plants. A pea plant is heterozygous for height. So heterozygous right here, super important, is crossed with, so in other words, crossed with a pure short plant. Use a Punnett square to determine the percent chance of getting a short offspring. Remember, tall is dominant over short, and also remember we're going to use either an uppercase T or a lowercase t. Okay? So we're going to decide, what do we have? Heterozygous, that means the gametes are different, so that's one upper and one lower. Pure short, the uppercase allele is the dominant, so the lowercase allele is the recessive or the short. So we would just set up a little squaresy, something like that. Typically I put the first parent on the top here. So there's, let's say that's the male parent, and let's say that's the female parent. So heterozygous, and this is homozygous recessive, and they're calling it a pure short. Okay, so we would have an upper lower, we would have a lower lower, we would have a lower lower, and a lower lower. Alright, so upper lower, lower lower. This should be upper lower, girls, sorry. Upper lower and lower lower. Okay, so because I have the tall letter in there, this particular plant would look tall, short, remember this one's uppercase, tall, short. You can answer the questions. Okay, we'll do another one with you. In humans, brown eyes, so we're going to use the letter B, upper and lower. Brown eyes is dominant, so that gets the uppercase B. Blue eyes are recessive, the lowercase b. If a man and a woman both hybrid, this is what I need to underline here. Both parents are hybrid, have several children with the expected phenotype and genotype. Okay. So do you remember what hybrid means? It's the same as heterozygous. So that's going to have to be one uppercase letter and a lowercase letter, because they're both exactly the same. So there's parent number 1 and parent number 2, crisscross applesauce. So that's upper, upper, upper lower, upper lower, lower, lower. And I like to write the phenotypes, or what this thing looks like inside the boxes. So even if it has one uppercase letter, this is going to be brown, brown, brown. Both lower, it's recessive, so that gets blue. I'm recessive for eye color. And they want the genotype and phenotype. So it's easiest doing phenotype first because we already have them. You can give them ratios or you can give them percentages, whatever you like. So what do we have? 1, 2, 3 out of 4, 75% brown, 25% blue. The genotype, you're actually giving the letters. So I'll start you off. 25% uppercase, uppercase, to, we've got 2 of these, 50% upper lower, and we only have 1 of these. 1 and 4 is 25, lower, lower. Here, you don't actually have to make a Punnett square. It's more of a bit of a logic. In another family, a couple, both of them had brown eyes as their first child, which has brown eyes. What are the possible genotypes for each parent? I want you to think about that and see what you can do with it. Remember, as long as there is a uppercase, it would be brown. If they were both uppercase, definitely brown. Sometimes, when you have this hybrid, blue shows up, so be careful.